What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Upper Elementary and we are testing out some mid-ranges for Mid-Range Madness Mondays, and this time we are possibly replacing this Rock 3. I love this Rock 3. I've thrown this Rock 3 so many times for so many years, but you get scared of losing a disc. You don't throw it as consistently sometimes. We're going to test out in its place the Prism Proton Hex. This disc saw a lot of, well, not specifically this disc, but this mold and this plastic combo saw a lot of use over December, and I started to really get a hang of how it's supposed to fly and how I really like to throw it. Let's see if it stacks up against the Rock 3, my loved straight mid-range. We're going to start off on hole number 2. Just throw a nice little shot. The basket's on the other side of this tree. We have a slight bit of a headwind, and it's uphill, so let's see if we can reach it. We're going to go with the Hex first and then with the Rock 3. Maybe a little left. The tree helped it out. So Rock 3 is going to take this one. Hopefully we get to stop throwing uphill and headwinds, because I want to see this disc absolutely bomb. Hole number 3 is 272 feet. It's right there, but kind of want to throw a forehand right at it, fade into the hillside. With these split here discs, I'm going to start them off on a hyzer. They should stand up to be super straight. I like the stability of the Hex a little bit more as far as a forehand disc. It might also be the super beat up Star versus Proton though. Hole 4 is 307 feet. It's slightly downhill, well, a little bit more than slightly downhill, and we have a tailwind, so it's going to be more of distance control with these discs, as these like to ride on the wind. This is going to be CTP for point on this hole, and then the next hole will be just kind of a max distance. How far can we get it down the hill? But CTP first off, the Hex tied it up on the last drive. So Hex has the box. Kind of left it a little bit short. See what the Rock 3 helps by. Rock 3 takes one more point over the Hex yet again. Let's see how they fare on the distance driving hole. The Rock 3 took point on the last hole, so Rock 3 is up 1. This hole is 443. It's downhill with a tailwind. There is a tiniest bit of chance if I catch the wind just right, I might make it all the way down there. So we're gonna try it with the Rock 3 and then with the Hex. I'm gonna throw them as hard as I can. CTP wins. And in that case, it probably means you traveled the farthest. I love that I drew that on there so that when it skips, yeah. You very rarely get to see that skip, but when it does skip, it's really cool. Now let's see if the Hex is supposed to be one of the farthest flying mid-ranges on the market. So let's see if this holds up to its reputation. I'm really not sure on that, but I think the Rock 3 took another point just because it's a little bit older and a little bit flippier. The tailwind stabled the Hex out a lot more than I expected it to. I expected it to actually get to flat with the power I had, but I guess the spin rate with the tailwind just means no, we're gonna stable out and we're gonna fade. Jumped all the way over to hole number 9, 267 feet. We're gonna try to lace this gap, hug right in between these trees. The wind's blowing into our face now, so we're gonna get to kind of see the torque resistance of how these discs are flying currently. And I'm throwing into a lot of headwind down in Brevard a lot this off season, so having something that I can at least rely on to hold a line into a headwind is going to be amazing. The Rock 3 has 2 points over the hex. Let's see if the hex comes back at all on this hole. Beautiful. Now let's see if we can put the hex any closer. Oh no, I caught a tree. Oh, the hex loses another point to the Rock 3. That means the hex is going to have to play almost perfect to beat the Rock 3 out, even though I know that the hex is staying in the bag for January. Pad for hole number 10 faces a little bit of a challenge for some people. They have issues hitting tunnels and low ceilings. So a disc like this is fabulous as long as you feel comfortable and confident just stepping up and hitting a gap. At least you can get out to the open. You have your chance to play for your upshot and to save those strokes that you otherwise would have missed or lost if you missed the Mando right there. So Rock 3 has 2 strokes. Let's see if the hex takes a point on this. This is more of a placement shot with this type of disc though. Out the gap. So as long as the hex gets out the gap clean, it's probably gonna take the point on this one. Can you get out the gap clean? That is the question here. Yep, yeah we did. All right. Don't know exactly where that finished, but it's at least 100 feet past where the Rock 3 finished because glide and tailwind and downhill. Let's go pick those up and head on to the next little challenge. It was a smashing like 150, maybe 200 foot past where the Rock finished because tree, no tree. Hex takes this one. This was 300 feet. You want to hyzer just past that last big tree in the middle. So let's see if we can just flip them up and slowly fade left. That is perfect. That might be long. Now for the Rock 3. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay, hex closed it back up. So hex and Rock 3 tied up with 3 holes left to play. Let's see who takes it overall at the end. But for January and February, I'm going to be leaving a Prism Proton Hex in my bag. I've just been throwing it a little bit too well in the windy conditions down in Brevard, and then also when I was going down to Charlotte. So I'm going to keep it in there, see if I can get to know it a little bit better, see if I get any more confidence with it, and see, I mean, it's already holding its own against the Rock 3, so there's that. Hole number 15 is 225 feet. We're gonna take these and just try to slow push them really straight under this low ceiling. Normally I would throw like a high approach disc to give it the height to kind of plop, but I want to test the low ceiling and the wind's coming from in front of us, so flip them up just a tiny bit. Hex has the box and they're all tied up. One tree you can't hit. See what the Rock 3 hits it or not. I know that Rock 3 specifically way too well. So Rock 3 takes another point. This is almost it for this video. We have 2 more holes, this one and the next one. Hole 16 is 166 feet, straight up the hill. Let's try to put them in the air and whichever one comes closest to chains will give the point. Hex took the point, so Hex is first. Oh wait, no, Rock 3 took the point. Get left, get left, get left. Okay. Just got to be inside of that with the Hex. Well, I was inside of that, so Hex takes a point on this one. They are all tied up going into the last hole. I don't try to write it out this way on purpose. Obviously, both of those hit trees and the Hex just happened to get a little bit luckier, so it gets the point. I'm not doing this on purpose, but it all comes down to the last hole almost every time. We are going to finish off with the last hole. They're all tied up, but that's probably a good thing. So while I don't do it on purpose, that just means that these, as far as my throwing style and my throwing capacity, are very, very consistent to each other because they're matched up. They almost swapped back and forth every single hole. So that just means that if I lean onto one of these Prism Proton hexes, I'm not going to necessarily have as much issue as if I leaned onto a different mold, because I have the confidence of knowing I paired this up against my most confident and consistent mid-range, and it held its own. Let's see if hole number 17 out here at Upward shows us anything else. It's going to be a little forehand flip up into a headwind. Let's see if the Hex or the Rock 3 is going to take the overall win today. But I'm going to love to throw the Prism Hexes for at least 2 more months. This is about 250 feet, slightly downhill, headwind, forehand flip up shot. Whew. Okay, well, looks like the reason I've had that Rock 3 for as long as I've had that Rock 3 for is it just happens to be a little bit luckier than every other disc. But that doesn't mean that its luck won't run out. So it will be taking a sideline in my bag for at least a couple months while I learn these Prism Hexes a little bit better. I'm going to love them. They look amazing and they fly so good. They feel so good. I'm going to love it. Hopefully you guys are going to love it too. If you enjoy content like this, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, especially if you have more discs that you want to see me pair up against your super straight mid-range replacement, essentially, make sure to comment all those down below. Please keep enjoying Mid-Range Monday Madness, or Mad Range. Whew. It's a bit of a tongue twister, I know, and I still haven't figured out how to say it correctly. And please subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscribe-only giveaways. Definitely helps me out as well. And until next time, I will see you all out on the course.